What's going on YouTube? Looks like we're live, everybody. How's everybody doing? If you guys can hear me and see me down below, go ahead and drop a yes. And for those of you on the channel who are watching the replay of this video, go ahead and fast forward. I would say maybe 1 to 2 minutes to when the questions come in. As always, guys, this is all about you and helping you guys get the most value out of this show. Therefore, there's nothing that we come up with that we want to discuss. This is all about you guys and the questions that you have. Remember, there are no dumb questions. In fact, the only dumb question is a question that is not asked. So down below, go ahead and drop your questions, and we'll go ahead and answer each and every question that you guys have and hopefully help increase your income, your impact, and your influence. If this is your first time on the channel or first time to our 30 Minutes with a Millionaire series, go ahead and smash that like button right now on this video. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button right now and click the notification bell next to it. That way you'll be notified whenever I go live like this weekly and every single week when we drop new videos. Looks like everybody can hear us and we are live. Super excited to kick it with you guys. Let us know down below, how can we serve you? What questions do you guys have? What's going on in your guys' lives? What's going on in your guys' business? How can we help you get to the next level? Everything good with the connection? I don't see any questions. If nobody has any questions, I guess we would wrap it up. It's difficult. I can't, move the blue so I can read it. As a new seller that will be capped with a 200 unit quantity, would you recommend that we order, say, 400 units initially from our supplier, ship 200 to Amazon and 200 to put into storage? It depends. You know, Stanley, there's a few things that you got to take into consideration. First and foremost, like, how many units do you think that you're going to sell? Number one. Number two, how long does it take for your supplier to manufacture and then ship? If it's overseas, probably 30 to 45 days. And with that being said, yes, it may be advantageous to have them hold on to the remaining amount of units, or have it shipped to a 3PL, or have it shipped to a location that you have, maybe you store it in your garage, so on and so forth. Typically, after the first couple of orders, and when Amazon sees a track record, sees consistent sales, you can create a case and you can ask to increase your inventory levels. So that's what I would do. I was thinking it would be practical. Can you move the? I was thinking it would be practical considering shipping delays, and also it would be cheaper to ship 400 units at once versus 200 units twice. Yeah, absolutely, that makes sense. Is this real in making money on Amazon? Oh, Gustavo, dude, the cat is out of the bag. This does not work at all. I would leave the channel right now. It's garbage. It doesn't work. The Legend. What has Legend got? If a product is patented in China but not in the US, would you recommend to sell it or stay away from it? I would talk to a patent lawyer and see, is it going to infringe on it in the US? Because if it's patented, regardless of where it is, there's some type of intellectual property that you're going to be infringing on. So I don't really know about patents in different countries. So I would shoot an email to a lawyer. They'll probably answer it for free, or you can book a consultation probably for like $100, $200. If you really find a good product that's got great potential, it's worth the investment. It's worth the investment to go ahead and pay a lawyer to get your questions answered. What's going on? What's a good company to rebrand with? Can you add some context to it? Like, rebrand what? Rebrand your logo, the name of your branding, your packaging, your products, like go into a new industry, new niche. If you can add some context to that, I can better answer it.
Someone on Instagram asked if you sell Amazon stores.
Do I? What do you mean, do I sell Amazon stores?
Did you ask if you sell Amazon stores, like already pre-built Amazon stores?
No, we don't sell stores. I mean, we have a department of our company that for AMZ automation where we help you find a physical product. We help you develop the product, build out the Amazon account, which is technically a store, and get everything set up in order to sell and brand it. So no, we don't sell like already made stores. No, we do everything together.
Another question. I have inventory that isn't selling fast. How can I increase the velocity?
If you have inventory that's not selling fast, there's a few things that you can do, right? So first and foremost, before you make a determination that the product is not a good product or the product isn't selling or something like that, you want to do an audit of your listing, right? So I guess, can we share the whiteboard? I'll break this down. What to do if your product is not selling. Is it showing? All right, cool. What to do if your product is not selling. So if your product isn't selling, first and foremost, you want to do an internal audit of your listing, okay? This is an Amazon listing, and you have several components, okay? You have your main image. You have your title. You have your reviews. You have your price. You have your bullets. You have your description. And below this, you have A+ content, better known as enhanced brand content, if you're brand registered. Now, what do you need in order to be brand registered? You have to have a trademark and you have to go through the brand registry process. So this one is only applicable if you have that set up. If you don't have that set up, you want to create a system, right? A checklist system, and you want to go through these and you want to ask yourself, okay, is your main image the best that it can be? Is your title the best that it can be? Do you have any reviews? If you have reviews, are they good reviews? Do you not have reviews? If you don't have reviews, that's an issue. Then you want to go to your price. How is your price compared to the competition that's doing well, right? What does your bullet points look like? Do you have good search terms in it? Do you have good keywords? Is it persuasive? What does your description look like? So this is an audit of your actual listing. Here's the thing. All products, if you did your research and you found a product, you proceeded to go forward with investing in the product or investing in the inventory because you've seen people that were selling it. So if other people are selling it and you're not infringing, like it's not a patented product or it's not a licensed issue like Mickey Mouse or something like that, that means that the product can be sold. So the question that you have to answer or what you have to solve for is, why is my products not selling? So if your products aren't selling, it's usually a product, it's usually a listing problem or a marketing problem. It's one of those two things or a combination of both. So whether your listing is not optimized properly because you lack the competence of what needs to be done, or you're not doing it properly, or your advertising is not being done properly, or a combination of a poor listing and lack of knowledge in advertising, or not a sufficient marketing plan when it comes to PPC. Because all products on Amazon sell. The $1 million question is, does it sell enough to make me the amount of money that I need in order to keep selling it? That's all you have to look at when you're looking at products. So when you're doing product research, there is no saturation. I hate saturation. There's what's called difficulty. How many reviews? What is the average review ratio? How many people are selling the actual product? And how much money do I need to spend in marketing and in inventory in order to get into this space? This is what you look at. It doesn't matter what product you find on Amazon, as long as it's not patented and as long as there's nothing intellectual like licensing, I could rank it to the first page confidently. It's not an assumption. It's not a guess. It's not wishful thinking. It's facts, because if I have the budget to buy the inventory, if I have the budget to do the marketing, and I know what they're doing and what they're not doing, it's very simple. I buy the inventory, I spend the money on marketing, and I advertise where they're not, and then you can compete with the best, right? If you think about it, prior to Amazon and prior to online e-commerce like Amazon and Google and so on and so forth, we have traditional brick and mortar, right? When you go to Walmart, how is there 100+ different cereals? How is there 4 to 5 different cereal brands that sell the same cereal and they all stay in competition, right? It's the same strategy. It's just online versus brick and mortar. So that's the most simple way to break down, how do you sell, how do you compete with more competitive niches or more competitive sellers? And like, if my product's not selling, why, right? You just have to solve for it, just like any process of elimination. Like if you have an issue with your car and you go to a mechanic, the mechanic doesn't know what's wrong with your car. Like 9 times out of 10, if it's a serious issue, they don't know what the main issue is. They're going to go through a process of elimination. If your car doesn't start, they can't just look at your car and say, hey, it's the starter. They have to get in there underneath the hood. They have to do what's called diagnosis. And when they do the diagnosis, then they can see, okay, is the battery charged? Okay, the battery's charged. The battery's not bad. Okay, is the starter engaging? Okay, the starter's engaging. Is the alternator charging those components? And they go through this process of elimination till they see, okay, here it is. This isn't working, or this is unplugged, or this part is not working, or it went old, or whatever it may be. So you have to do the same thing with your Amazon business. If you're not getting more sales, why? Like, why are other people getting sales and you're not getting them? If you launch a product and you're not getting sales, why? It's not because the product doesn't sell. So you have to think about those different things and think about those variables and just create a punch list of every single variable, right? You have your listing optimization, and then you have your marketing. Now break your listing optimization into these different points like we talked about. You have your main image, your title, your review, your price, your bullets, your description, your enhanced brand content, your SEO. These are all factors, right? Then you have your marketing. Are you running marketing? If you're not running marketing, that's why you're not making any sales. If you are running marketing, on a scale from 1 to 10, how well do you feel that you're running your marketing? Like, people always say, well, my product's not selling. I'm like, are you doing PPC? Yeah. Okay, what's your PPC plan look like? What's your strategy? Well, I YouTubed and they talked about running auto campaign and then take the good keywords and put it in a manual campaign. I'm like, okay, cool. What's your cost per click, right? How are you optimizing? Do you have negative keywords? What is your structure? Where are you pulling keywords from? Are you doing reverse ASIN searches? And they have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm like, why don't you know these things? They're like, well, I just Googled how to start PPC on Amazon, and I just got some free video off YouTube or some forum on Google. I'm like, that's why you're losing money. You're bleeding money because you're jumping over dollars to save pennies, right? So 9 times out of 10, and this sounds like a guru statement, but it's the truth. I've helped thousands of people in this industry. We have tens of thousands of clients. The number one reason why people don't get any sales when they start an Amazon business is lack of competence. The reason why products don't sell is because it's not a product problem 9 times out of 10. Seriously, 90% out of 100% ratio, the reasons why products don't sell is it is a person problem, not a product problem. What does that mean? They didn't do their due diligence on the pricing. They didn't do their due diligence on the pictures or the pricing structure. They didn't do a proper review campaign. Their listing isn't optimized, and they have no idea what they're doing with PPC. Like, those are usually the reasons why there's issues when it comes to success on Amazon. First, you get the competence, meaning you have a thorough understanding, you have a support system, you have experts helping you, and then once you have the competence, then you have the confidence. Like, so that's the reason why a majority of people don't make it. And then what happens is they give up. Like, they can't figure it out. They can't YouTube the questions. They can't Google the questions. And then they just give up. And they're like, yo, this isn't for me. It didn't work. I wasted a bunch of money. That's what happens, because there's only 2 logical ways that you could fail at anything, including this business. Number 1, not starting. Number 2, giving up. Everybody starts. And then the people who do give up, they give up because lack of competence. Because if you knew that what you were doing was the best of your ability and the best of the ability of the business, and you knew that it was going to work one day, you wouldn't give up. The reason why you give up is because you don't see the end destination. You don't see the success at the end of the tunnel, and that's why you give up. But if you started to go in the tunnel and you see the light, think about it when you're going under an underpass. Like in Michigan, you can go under a tunnel to get to Canada. Nobody gets in that tunnel and turns around because they question if they're going to get to Canada. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you know, hey, hundreds and thousands of these cars are going through this tunnel every single day under the water, under the ground, and at the end, they're in Canada, right? Just like a plane, just like anything else in reference to getting from point A to B. So if all this is a business structure where you're trying to create a business and go from point of starting a business to point of making money, generating cash flow, increasing your net worth, firing your boss, whatever this end destination looks like, if you knew that it was there and you were going to get it, you wouldn't give up. The reason why people give up and they quit is because they don't see it. The reason they don't see it is because they lack the competence in the business, the support structure, the accountability, the information, and then they lack that confidence, the confidence to know that it's going to happen. It has to happen, or it has to happen. It's just a matter of time. It's not about how, it's about when. So these two things go together. So think about it like that. And the reason why I say this is because all products on Amazon sell, and everybody on Amazon can be successful. Here's the truth. People don't know how to choose the correct product. They don't know how to market the product properly, and they don't have a strong enough mindset to go through losing money until you make money in business. And that's not just in Amazon, that's in every business. My first flip, I lost money. My first truck I bought, I lost money. Like in business, the theme of the story is when you're starting, you always lose money, right? It's called growing pains. When you're growing and you're young, until you get to your age of maturity, you're going to have growing pains. You're going to be sore. So think about it like that. Thanks again for your videos about business credit. I have all intentions of getting an LLC. I'm outside the US when I get the LLC. Cool. Yeah, if you need help with that, we have partners that we work with that can help you. They can help you get your LLC set up. They can help you get a US bank account. They can help you set up your Amazon account and all of that. If you want, just email support@theamzformula.com. Say, I live outside the US, need an LLC, need a US bank account, and our team can help you. How do you go about getting a guarantor to get business credit card? So it depends. I mean, you can use family members, you can use friends, you can use business partners. It just pretty much depends. Every scenario or every case is going to be different. So you just have to see what's best for you. Is it strange to buy more than one sample from a manufacturer? No, not at all. I mean, you can get 2 to 3 samples to see consistency. You can get a sample from 3 different suppliers. There's no right or wrong reason in reference to getting samples. I like to get samples from multiple factories, and sometimes I like to get multiple samples. In fact, you have pre-inspection samples, and then you have post-inspection samples. So the way it works in the manufacturing world is you give a deposit to start, and then before you pay the rest, you pay the balance. Well, oftentimes on big orders and with new suppliers, I get an inspection before we start, and sometimes I'll even get an inspection after we start. And what I like to do is something that's unorthodox. I like to have them actually open up the packages and choose random products and send it to me, because what I've discovered is when you ask for a sample, your supplier is going to find the best product that they can find to send you. They're not going to send you the crappiest one. So how do you see, like, if you're okay with the worst product sample, then the best is going to be super best, super good. You know what I mean? So I like to just ask for random. I like to tell them, hey, take this 3rd box, open up the 2nd box down, and send me that one. Why? Because there's no way that they could premeditate that being the best one, and you can actually check consistency that way. Do I create an account before joining your team? You can. It doesn't matter. You just go to sellercentral.com, create a personal account, not an individual account. It's free. Fill out the paperwork. However, if you join any of my programs, whether it's the AMZ Formula, AMZ Formula Max, my Inner Circle, for an AMZ Together client, whichever program you join, our team helps you from start to finish. So I would advise starting on a clean slate if you're going to start with us. If you choose to do this on your own, that's fine too. But the first stage is creating your Seller Central account. You're going to go to Seller Central, and then you're going to start with an individual. Don't change to a professional until you actually have inventory that's on the way. When you're vetting a new VA on Fiverr, what are some questions you normally ask? Do you look for Amazon competencies? Okay, cool. So, when I'm looking for a VA for someone who's going to like manage my Amazon account or work with me within my Amazon business, I'm focusing on a few things. Number 1, communication's big. Number 2, some understanding is big. However, a lot of that stuff can be learned. It's not like a super crazy skill set. It's not like you're having them manage your PPC. That's a whole nother thing. You want to test, you want to look at their skill set. You want to have rapport. You want to see results, the whole 9 yards. However, if it's just a VA that's going to be managing inventory, managing account health, I would rather have someone who does really good communication, who's really responsive, speaks decent English, who can work your times during your preferred time zones, than someone who has competency but sucks in reference to getting a hold of me and responsiveness, if that makes sense. What is it? So you can't make money on Amazon? No, that was a joke, dude. Yes, of course you can. I wouldn't be here if this didn't work. Yeah, I mean, the business made me a millionaire, not teaching how to start the business, but the business itself made me a millionaire. My brand was taken down due to the company who filed the patent is being investigated for fraud. Yeah, man, you're just going to have to roll with the punches, talk with Amazon, and probably get a lawyer. I don't know the details of that, but that sucks. Do you still do Amazon automation? How much does the startup cost? Will, there's a link. I'll go ahead and drop the link down below. If you got questions about any of our programs, costs, what it costs, what it entails, go ahead and schedule a call with my team, and they'll be happy to go over everything. They'll answer all your questions. They'll break it down. But we are still taking a few clients for our AMZ Together program. How can you identify and avoid Alibaba scammers? Some sellers keep requesting that I pay with sketchy methods instead of PayPal or eBay. I feel that they are probably scams. So if you buy through Alibaba, you're going to get trade insurance, which means if they scam you, Alibaba will reinforce you. Also, if you sometimes, and this is crazy now with the times that we're in, it's not as relaxed as it used to be, but if you can do a credit card through Alibaba, then you have the security of the credit card, you have the security of the trade insurance. But if they ask for a wire, as long as you go through Alibaba and it is trade insurance, keyword trade insurance applicable, then you're good. They will cover it, right? Because Amazon makes a little bit of money. They go into contract with the seller. However, if you go outside of Alibaba and you reach out to them and you wire money and they take your money, then it's a whole nother story. So first order, go through Alibaba. Make sure you can get trade insurance. After creating an account, what is the next step to follow? Pretty simple. So you create an Amazon account, do your due diligence on Amazon, whatever that looks like for you, whether you're following a program, you're following a guide, you're in mentorship, or you're scoundering the internet, whatever that looks like for you, do your due diligence, gain competence about the industry, how the business works before you start, and then product research. That's pretty much that simple. Once you do product research, you're going to find the product. You're going to do your due diligence before you invest in the product. Make sure it could be the best fit for you and your business. You're going to launch this product and you're going to go about your business. That's pretty much how, like, I can answer that in 2 minutes or I can answer it in 3 hours. Like, I literally, my course is 20 hours, 18 plus almost 20 hours. My course is 20 hours on this. So I hate like fast forwarding through those questions, but I get asked that question every week. And it's like, for me to genuinely answer it, it would take hours and hours and hours, but it's that simple. Like, do not start anything unless you have a basic understanding. Like, you guys wouldn't just start day trading tomorrow or trying to trade Forex or trade cryptocurrency or trade stocks or go and try to build a house or work on an engine on a vehicle because it sounds cool. Like, you would make sure that you have the due diligence in place, a basic understanding of it. You would invest in some type of literature, some type of education, something that's going to help you have success in whatever it is that you're doing. That's just the standard method for learning anything and having success with anything.
Would you recommend outsourcing product research and development to scale?
So would you recommend outsourcing product development and what else? And product research for scale? It just depends. Like, if you're going to outsource, especially product research, they have to know the criteria that you want, and they have to have some type of experience. So I'm not opposed to outsourcing that type of stuff. I just know because we have a team of over 30 people who just do product development and product research for our AMZ Together program. And I know like we are firing people left and right. We are losing tens of thousands of dollars left and right through people who are spending hours and hours and hours of doing product research and finding products that suck. So I'm not opposed to it, and it's not to be a negative Nancy, but if you're going to outsource anything, you're going to want to work with them very closely and make sure that they have a high level of competence for what it is that they're doing and what it is that you want done and how you would like it done. So the question is, how do you keep up your mindset? For me, there's no option. If there's an option to keep up your mindset, then you need to create and develop a mindset first, because there is no, how do you keep hydrated? If you don't drink water in 2 days, every human on planet Earth dies. If you don't eat in 7 days, you die. There's no, how do you have breakfast, lunch, or dinner? How do you drink water today? It has to happen or you die. So that is my mindset, and that's the way I look at it. If you're struggling with mindset, you have to develop your mindset. And if you're struggling to develop your mindset, more than likely you are comfortable in your life. If you're comfortable in your life, you need to be uncomfortable, and you need to set some type of pain mechanism that's going to create emotion. If you're not doing what you need to do, suffer. It's that simple. People are not willing to do that, and that's why they struggle with success.
This guy said, is it best to start with an LLC for your Amazon store?
Good question. So is it best to start with an LLC for your Amazon business? So any business that you start, especially Amazon, the more liability, the less liability you have, the better. So an LLC stands for limited liability company. So if you are a sole proprietor, or you use your social security, or you do a DBA or whatever, you have the least amount of protection, right? If you have an entity, that entity or that shell protects you, right? So an LLC will reduce your liability. So now to sell on Amazon, they require $1 million in general liability insurance, which is a couple $100s a year. So now you will have your entity plus your general liability insurance. So I highly recommend that you get the LLC plus the general liability insurance. However, if you're pressed for cash, you can start with an EIN, ITIN, or a social security number. Cool, awesome. Well, it looks like we blitzed through all the questions. If you guys have any other questions now, I'll hang around for a minute or two. Go ahead and drop them. If not, I'll see you guys in the next episode. I appreciate you guys as always. For everybody who's talking about working with my team or getting started, like I don't sell you guys anything on here. I'm just here to provide value to help serve you guys and answer questions. So if any of you guys are interested, we have multiple different programs, from courses to courses with coaching to courses with coaching and mentorship with myself, as well as a business solution where as an investor, you can actually invest in our company, including myself. We'll go and find you a product, develop the product, reach out to the supplier, negotiate, do the product development, create your listing, help with the photos, help with the marketing, help with everything. If you're interested in any of that, or just have some questions about this business, I suggest you schedule a call. It's free. You have nothing to lose, and potentially a brand new business that could change your life to gain. And my team will drop that link down below. I think it's callwithjoshua.com, or is it one product away? Oneproductawaycall.com.
We have 3 questions pop up.
Cool. Go ahead and drop them.
I started with an SCorp instead of an LLC. Is that okay?
So the question is, I started with an SCorp instead of an LLC. Is that okay? So SCorp is just a different entity structure. You have SCorp, you have SCorp, you have sole proprietorship, you have LLC. These are all different entities that do different things. I can't tell you if it's better or not. I can tell you I have a SCorp, which is, for me, is better than an SCorp, which is also better than an LLC for what I'm trying to do within that one company structure. So the best thing is to understand, what does your company structure look like? Do you have partners? What part of the world do you live in? Are you going to sell? Do you have equity partners? Do you have shares that you have to distribute? What level of liability do you want? What tax bracket are you in? These are all variables that you have to understand in order to choose the best entity. What may be best for you, like an LLC, may not be best for me because we're in different tax brackets. You may have a partner, I don't. So be very specific with where you are, what your intentions are, what your goals are. And I would highly suggest talking to our team, which helps with that, or Rocket Lawyer or LegalZoom or anything like that, and asking these questions so they can make sure that they place you in the best entity. Again, if you guys need help creating an entity, you guys need help with business credit, you guys need help with any of that, email us at support@theamzformula.com and we can introduce you to our partners who will help you with all of that. If you need an LLC set up, if you need to set up your Amazon account, if you need help with business credit, business taxes, they will help you with all of that. If I join your team, do you choose products for me? It depends. So in AMZ Together, which is our top tier program for investors, we do find the product and choose it for you. In AMZ Formula, AMZ Max, or AMZ Inner Circle, those three, you get help. I will show you how to find them. We will help you find them. You can hop on live calls with our coaches. They will help you find them. They'll do product research with you. And you can even send them to our team, and our coaches will review them for you. So it just depends on what level of program that you're in. Is PPC the best advertising? That's a tough question. So PPC, or pay-per-click advertising, I mean, you can have PPC on Facebook, you can have it on TikTok, you can have it on Snapchat, you can have it on YouTube, you can have it on Amazon. Basically, when you're starting out, PPC on Amazon is enough to start getting you sales and to get you ranking in non-competitive industries. In a competitive industry, like if you try to go sell ginseng root or like fat burner or metabolism boosters or yoga mats or anything like that, probably PPC is not going to cut it. You're going to have some type of influencer marketing, some type of pre-existing user base or email list or something that you can tap into. So it depends. How competitive is your product? What's the average amount of units? What's the average amount of reviews? What's the average age of the seller? What's the average size of the business? Like products like this, you may be competing with small people. If you get into yoga mats, you get into ginger root extracts, or you get into supplements, you're going to be competing with, multi-million-dollar, $100 million companies. So it's a whole nother story. So you just have to look at the overview and see how competitive is it? How many sellers are there? What are the average reviews? What are the average sales? What is the average size of the companies? And come up with a marketing plan, because all it is math. Success in this business is math. How many units are the average people on the first page selling? How do I determine that how do I plan on selling that amount of units to equal those sales, which is how I make a decision based off of should I order this product, or how do I kick all of their butts, which should be your goal, because this is a game, it's a battle, it's war, and the objective should be to win and kick everybody's butt. So how do you outsell them? How do you outperform them? These are questions you want to ask yourself. And if you're going to need to go outside PPC, then you're going to need to go outside PPC. If you can do it within PPC, then do it within PPC. But you have to understand all of these things. And even if I was number one in the world off of just PPC, which you can do in some niches and some categories, I would still do influencers and build email lists and all of this extracurricular stuff that you can do, which I teach within the program. Hi, Joshua. I'm at work right now, but I'm hiding, listening. Such a professional life. Thank you for everything. Awesome. That made my day. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you got value. Cool. Awesome. Also, by the way, guys, a lot of questions from new people who are rather interested in starting this business or just starting this business. Regardless if you're new to my world or you're in one of my programs or you're just a sub or you're just a follower on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you're coming from, I highly suggest that you go grab a copy of my book. It's $27. Like, if you have questions about Amazon, before you go buy my course, go buy my book and see if you even like this business. Learn about this business, right? It's $27. It's several hundred pages. It tells you my story. It tells you how I made money in this business. It tells you what you need to start, how much money you need to start, how the entire sourcing process starts, how product research is done, how do you sell products, how do you scale your business, How do you even sell your business one day? It's the most valuable thing that I offer, right? Nothing that I offer is under $1,000 except my book. So other than all the free stuff, which is the best content on YouTube and the #1 place on the internet to learn private labeling on Amazon, go grab a copy of my book at oneproductawaybook.com. That's the number one. Go grab a copy right now. If you absolutely hate it, I will refund you. You can keep the book for free. It's my gift to you. But I think that it'll answer a lot of your guys' questions, especially the redundant ones that we get here on the channel, and a lot of the beginner questions, like how much money do I need to start? How long does this process take? Does this still work? Will this continue to work? Am I too late? Like all these questions that you have, that if you're a beginner, go grab your copy of the book right now. I think it'll help you out. We'll wrap up with this last question. What price point should I sell a product? So when you're doing your research on your pricing structure, you don't want to be the highest and you don't want to be the cheapest. I like the middle price, right? So if the top guy is $30 and the cheap guy is $19.99, I will price myself around $24.97. You also want to look like, okay, if you're not getting sales, it could be your price too high, right? Like if the highest is 30 and you're $28.97 because you want to make the most amount of money, but you have 4 reviews and that guy has 6,000 reviews, the pricing is probably going to be an issue. And the last thing that I'll give you quickly is when you're testing your price, do not jump up $1. Don't jump up $5. Don't jump up any dollar increments. Really do your due diligence and find about where you want to be, and then test your price point in increments of under $1, 47 cents at a time, 27 cents at a time. Don't like test it at $19.97 and then want to get to $40 and then just jump up $10, because you're going to meet crazy resistance, especially if you're advertising or you've been in the industry for a while, right? That's something I learned the hard way, excuse me. So hopefully it saves you guys some time, some effort, some energy, as well as some money. With that being said, again, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Click the notification bell next to it. Share the channel with someone who you think will get value of it. I don't charge anything for this. I give everything away for free. Like I offer some of the best content that I can give you guys for free. I invest 6 figures in this studio and this setup and in team and staffing and everything to bring you guys literally the best. And all I ask is that you guys subscribe, share the channel out, show up, take action, don't give up, and hopefully change your life. This business changed my life, changed my family's life. If you put the work in and don't give up, it could change your life too. If we can help any way whatsoever, email us, DM me on social media, or schedule a free call. Even if you have questions about the business, how the business works, schedule a call and talk to my team, and let's see how we can help you get to the next level. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.